When I first found out I was pregnant, it was just a pure moment of joy for both Aaron and I. I had been told years before that I couldn't get pregnant. And so when we first found out, we were overwhelmed, we were excited. We were told it was twins, and I think Aaron almost passed out.
I didn't know what to do, quite honestly, because something we talked about and wanted for years and didn't expect it.
I was almost 12 weeks pregnant, and we had gone to Hawaii, and the night before we were going to leave, I ended up hemorrhaging and ended up going into the emergency room.
And they did as good as the job they could do, but they were also very honest and very aware that they don't come across a lot of this stuff, and they're not specialized. And we, or at least I realized in a hurry, we were very spoiled in St. Cloud because everybody was very specialized, everybody was very good.
We got home and I had been in and out of the emergency room a couple times within the next week, and each time I was bleeding.
This situation was actually very unusual. She was now going into the second trimester with continued vaginal bleeding. That's a bad prognostic indicator, and the only thing we really have at that point is bed rest. So already 12 to 13 weeks, we put Jill out on bed rest.
On February 10th, I was going into labor. We ended up having the twins, Noah and Sophia, that night, both of them. And like I said, it was just short of 24 weeks. And Sophia was born first, and then Noah was born a few minutes later, and they were both just a little bit over a pound.
Clearly something was wrong. I could tell from their reaction, I could tell from looking at her.
They had worked on Sophia, but she had lost so much air through the delivery. You're trying to wrap your head over everything that's going on. And I just remember that we could hear Noah cry right away. And so you just have this huge sense of relief because you can hear like what you're supposed to hear when a baby's born. And Dr. Ajay took him, and they had worked on him for a few minutes, and they allowed us to hold him, and they said that they were going to be bringing him into NICU. And so right after that had happened, then they gave us Sophia to say hello and goodbye to at the same time.
The assumption at that point is he was going to be fine, a long road, but he was going to be fine.
Like 4 or 5 in the morning, that one of the nurses came in and said we were needed down in NICU right away. We had found out that a blood vessel had burst in Noah, and it had flooded his lungs, and that there wasn't going to be any way for him to come back from it. So Dr. Thompson asked if she could baptize him. And so within 48 hours, it's the same thing as Sophia. We were holding him and watching him take his last breath and having to say goodbye.
I think for Jill and Aaron, the losses were multiple. Getting pregnant for them was a challenge in and of itself. Losing the twins and actually going home from the hospital to a funeral home was a very hard blow. And I think it left them with a continued doubt if they would ever be parents.
Dr. Anderson and all of the support people at CentraCare that we had been involved with, I guess, kind of allowed us to believe that it could work for us, that it was okay to try again, no matter how scary it was going to be, that we were going to have them with us.
Very, very scary to find out that we were pregnant again.
It wasn't a normal pregnancy. I think it was my normal.
It was nice to see the plan come together, and it was nice to see that they knew what they were doing. They were thinking ahead the whole time, and just for that to all happen. Certainly that first week when she went on bed rest, but even from there until the delivery, they had a plan, and they knew what they were looking for, and they knew why they were doing what they were doing. Why it was born early, 7.5 weeks early. So clearly a lot farther along than with the twins and what had happened, but also, too early on to be even normal from an early perspective.
I just remember them telling me that even though he was 32.5 weeks, they were just like, you have a 5-pound baby boy. And I'm like, 5 pounds? They let us know he was in NICU, and they were doing everything they could. And it was different because they wheeled me right into NICU, and I was able to hold him like right after I woke up, and he was just absolutely beautiful and tons of hair, and huge. He was huge.
You know, he's very happy, he's very content, he's very mellow, but he's also brought a lot of perspective, and certainly perspectives changed with the twins and everything that we'd been through, but just to see him and to see everything that he had been through in NICU is, you know, I say every day that if he can deal with it, then we can deal with it. It doesn't matter what it is.
Their experience awes me in that they are young, and it's hard to picture most people in that age group thinking beyond themselves, and perhaps in an experience like that to think beyond themselves. And having lost the twins and the emotional blow that must have been, to then readily turn around and to give back so that hopefully others would not have to go through their experience is really mind-blowing.
I believe that we wouldn't have the beautiful son we do if we didn't have their care. But even before that, I really feel like with the twins, because that was our initial decision to help with the hospital, was, you know, it kind of provided us a sense of peace. It provided us purpose, direction, just knowing that something that's so sad and so painful to us could turn into something that was so pure and beautiful for another family, that it would, like, our story and our history would provide another family and another baby with this, like, even better care than what we received, because they're better facilities, they're more equipped, and just to be able to have that happy ending for somebody else that maybe we didn't get with the twins, but we got with Wyatt. It's definitely a silver lining that came out of it, and I just feel like if there's anything that we can do to help other people have that same silver lining, that same happy ending that we finally have gotten, that we're going to do that.